We in episode 2. I started from the bottom, 302 the podcast. Tonight we have a special guest, none other than Troy Bailey, businessman, entrepreneur, cat from the hood, from this area. We're gonna let him get into his story, man, and tell his journey and what he does. You know, he does multiple things, so I don't want to generalize him, so we're gonna let him get to it and kind of share his life journey, his story, being a businessman in this area, being a man in this area, being a guy from this area, everything. So without ado, Troy Bailey.
What up?
What's happening, my guy?
First, I just want to thank you guys for having me on today, man. I really admire what y'all doing, you know what I mean, providing a platform. Introduce myself to everybody. My name is Troy Bailey, local, right here in Seaford, homegrown. I don't know, just, you know, happy to be on with you guys.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro. So, you know what I mean? What the people want to know, I'm sure, and what we want to know, man, we want to hear your story and your journey, man. I want to hear a little bit about how you started. Well, you do a number of things, but why don't you tell us a little bit about, you know what I'm saying, your life story, man, coming up, how you came up, how you know what I mean, came to be a entrepreneur, hustler, you know, all the stuff that we is, man. So, tell a little bit of your journey, man, your background, first of all.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, you know, I wear a lot of hats, but first and foremost, I'm a husband, a father, you know, that's my main priority. As far as business, you know, I'd like to think of myself as an entrepreneur, a creative, that's what I like to call myself, a creative. I try to find lanes and, you know, do the things that I enjoy doing. Right now, I currently have the mobile boutique, King's Closet. I mean, you probably see my truck riding around here all the time. Real estate, been a real estate agent for the last 17 years. My story, man, simple, just like everybody else's. You know, just a young guy, man. Grew up in Georgetown, not in the best of situations. And we know, I wasn't gonna say we were poor, because we had the necessities. Right. But growing up in a time where when you walk to school, you see some of the kids that had a little bit more than what you had. You know, you see the guys with the flashy cars, you see all that. I mean, you start to aspire for more things, and ultimately starting off that aspiration and just seeing that, you know, seeing the fly cars, seeing the, you know, young guys back then, they had the EKs, they had the glasses on, you know, they chilling. Yeah, you don't know nothing about them.
They took us back.
Yeah, they had that on. So you look, you like, yeah, I want that. And you know, we started off not doing the right things, you know, to try to obtain it. But because I come from a strong spiritual background, you know, I had a praying mom, praying grandma. I realized sooner than later that wasn't the way.
Well, what's the not the right things? You know what I mean? Like, what's not the right things? I mean, we all know, but you know what I'm saying? Without getting into it heavily, you know what I mean? What you mean, like some of the wrong things? Yeah, we always talk about it, bro.
Definitely not gonna glorify it, but you know, we dabbled in them streets, man, because that was the opportunity that was there. You know, when you getting up and going to school every day, when you starting school year off with the same sneaks that you had for the family reunion that summer, man, it's kind of hard. So when you get older, you know, you see an opportunity presented to you, you kind of jump on it, and that's the path I took. You know, one of the older guys, they say, look, you can make a couple extra dollars doing this, that, and the third, and I gravitated toward that because it was an opportunity for me to get some of the things that, you know, wasn't afforded to me as a kid.
Some of the story, bro, like, so now the guy that we see that stay fresh to death, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I could identify with, you know, some of the same stories or whatever, man. But like that goes to show you that, you know what I'm saying, people don't know the back. And that's why we here, bro. We here to do the, you know what I'm saying, to get into it and see how we became the men we are, how we got here, you know what I mean? Hear each other's stories, you know, bring people in like yourself. And what I want to know, you know, I know, you know what I mean? I know you, my man, I know you, but what the people, you know, probably want to know is, so how'd you, you know, what was your first, your introduction to the clothing business?
Well, the clothing business, that was introduced to me by a guy from New York, actually, a friend of mine. It's a funny story because I actually was employed at DuPont plant right here in Seaford, and at the age I was, that was one of the higher upper end jobs. You know, one of the good jobs you could have. They was actually paying decent money, and you know, like so many of us do. Once I started making that money, I went and had a house payment. I had 2 car payments. I was maxed out, and they laid me off. So when they laid me off, I'm like, man, why am I gonna go make this kind of money now and with no skills? And talking to this guy, he was, you know, take me back and forth to New York, and I seen how they was moving and the different things they was selling and doing. I said, oh man, I can bring that here. And at that time, you know, it wasn't a lot of urban places you could shop. You talking 20, 23, 22 years ago. So just try to introduce me to a lot of new avenues, and I'm like, you know what, I can take this and run with it. And it started slow. It started off with a couple of t-shirts. T-shirts had Fruit of the Loom stamped on the inside.
I remember them joints.
Yeah, and Jokers was buying them. They was buying them.
Mecca.
Yeah, and they buying them, and they coming back, yo, what you gonna have next week?
Word.
And it just took off from there.
Yeah, you remember that, D? Huh?
Yeah.
You remember the time? See, I remember back in the day of journeys. I remember you pulling up with the, you know what I mean, the joint out of the trunk and all that, bro. So, you know what I mean. So fast forward to now, man, and fast forward to now. You know what I mean, with the clothing business you had now, the mobile. You know what I'm saying, going from the trunk to the truck. You know what I'm saying, to the boutique, and you know what I'm saying. What is your main goal? I mean, I know it's always the hustle. But what is your objective, man, and what you want to do? Like, as far as, you know, I know you're the type of dude, you like to show love to the community and, you know what I mean, do what you can for the hood at the same time, provide for your family. So, I mean, you know what I mean, how that all structure and all come about, you know what I mean, the grind. You know what I mean? You know I like to hear about the grind, bro.
Absolutely. And it's it's a process, you know, but right now, with everything else, mobility is everything. You can sit in the store, and I've had storefronts. I've been in the flea market, man, like I said, right beside Fat Boy for years, and it's just a different climate now. You know, mobility is everything.
Fat Boy, who Fat Boy? Oh, that dude. Hey, yo, bro. Yeah, listen, here, tell that man what you said. He said mobility is everything. This dude, you know, ask this dude what he on that AI stuff, Troy. So, you know what I mean? He could be telling you in a few minutes, put a robot in your truck or something, you know what I'm saying? Put a robot inside your truck.
I mean, it's different ways, man. We gotta be forward thinking. You gotta be forward thinking. But when I started the mobile business, one of my main motives was that, you know, dealing with certain brands, when you start dealing with fashion and name brands, stuff, it's a markup in everything that you do. And if you have a storefront, it's a lot of overhead. You know, being in the storefront, you got electricity, you got, you know, triple net leases, a whole lot of stuff that pulls from your.
Rewind. We got to educate while we talking. You know what I mean? I know my man. He probably can tell me with that. What's for the people that don't know? I mean, you know, we familiar with it. I dealt with it. What's a triple net lease? You know what I'm saying? Put your real estate hat on. Let us know what that. You know what I'm saying?
Triple net lease is basically a lease that doesn't pay for your electricity, your trash, and you know any other expenses outside. So you're paying for the building, plus you're paying the building's
insurance,
water. You're paying for the water. You're paying for the electricity. You're paying for the trash. And see, when you mobile, you pay for your insurances, your gas, and the savings that you get. You can pass it on to your community. You pass it on to your consumers. So I can take something that normally would be $100 in the store and give it to you for $75 because I don't have to cover that deficit.
Well, see, and a lot of times, you know what I mean, and we're gonna give a little game right now. You know, because me and you go back and forth on it, and a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people think that your quality of your product isn't what it is because you can afford to give it to them for a certain price. But you know, we talk about this all the time. So for the people that don't know, we're gonna give you a little game right now. When you go to a mall, when you go to the Saks, Macy's, and all that, bro, the price that you paying for, and this is what he's trying to tell you. Like he's able to give you a price and he's able to mark it down because he doesn't have the overhead of the building. They're paying like $10,000 a month for these facilities in the malls. They paying for 10 employees. All that's penciled in to what you pay for your product. So what he's saying to you right now is he's knocking all that out, and that's why he's able in his mobile boutique to give you some love but still make money. So usually you're paying like probably what four times cost of 4 to 5 times. You know what I mean? In a retail store?
Yeah, definitely a turn. sometimes a 4-turn, sometimes more. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody that get it because, you find the value of what you pay for. So, you're going to pay, if you see the value in it, you're going to pay for it. But also, just dealing in certain communities, you have single parents, single mothers, or hardworking families that at the end of the work week don't have the resources to go buy the kids, some of the name brand clothes. And I feel like if you can provide it to them at a reasonable cost, you can give them some of the things that they desire to have. Because I know, so like we started off earlier, I was saying, growing up not having some of them things. Kids was cool back then, and it's worse now with the internet and all that. You can't go to school with busted sneaks and
at all.
Yeah, so I like to be able to pull up and say, yo, here, get little man this, and you climb on my truck, I might be able to give you a discount this time, and that's why I get joy out of being able to do that. And like I said, it's longevity because I sold to the parents, now I'm selling to the kids, and hopefully I'll be around long enough to sell to their kids too. So.
You will, and that's what's up, man. Like I said, the grind, man. It gets a little deeper, but the grind is real, man. And like I can identify. I don't know about D. You know what I'm saying? I let him say, share his journey, but I can identify with being a kid, man. I tell people all the time, a lot of people don't remember. You know what I'm saying? They don't remember when I had to polish the shoes and put fat laces and wear my cousin's
Man, I was
sneaks,
rich, man. I wasn't poor, man.
You probably was. Yeah, you probably was. That's what I said. I ain't gonna tell you a
man,
story.
more power to you, boy. I'm happy for you.
We had to grind, bro.
No kids should have to go through it.
Broke. I mean, broke to niggas to y'all. Fuck. But no, on a serious note, like Troy, I'm a futuristic. He likes to stay stuck in the past.
Whatever.
But I'm futuristic. When do you see it like so
Stop the cap. No bullshit.
But so being that you're in real estate, where do you see the real estate market being, and where do you see yourself in the real estate market in the next 5 to 10 years when AI kick in?
Man, stop. Come on, man.
That's a broad question, but in 5 to 10 years, man, I'm looking forward to retiring. So I'm looking outside of Delaware, but the real estate market is transitioning, but it's a good transition if you can jump on waves. I mean, you got Airbnbs now, you have multi-dwelling units. If you can get in and get some properties now for yourself, I mean, just even whether you can hold on to them, if you're flipping them, if you're reselling, whatever. But if you can get in now, and I think that's the best retirement plan. That's the best retirement plan. So that's my goal within the next 5 to 10 years is to, make some smart investments, and not necessarily locally. It could.
So where do you see the market? Where do you see the market being that you've been in it, 10, 20 years?
About 17 years.
Where do you see the market heading towards? It just like maybe like young kids or kids that's coming up that want to get into real estate, because you got so many women in real estate. You got so many younger people in real estate because they think it's a fast track.
This man don't care
kids,
about
I said kids wanting to get into.
This man don't care about them kids.
I said kids wanting to get into real estate.
You said kids. What?
Stop the cap. No bullshit.
Like I was just saying, Troy, the kids that just think that real estate is a fast track to financial wealth. What would you tell them coming up? The women and people think that real estate is just a fast track to wealth.
It's like everything else, man. It's a grind. It's a grind. You have to educate yourself. And I think, speaking for all of us up here, consistency is key. I mean, you're looking at over 60 years of business. We all been in business 20 years plus, and none of us would be where we at if we just gave up. But it didn't happen all overnight. So if you have a get-rich-quick scheme or think it's going to happen tomorrow, it's not. But if you put the work in, educate yourself, and find your lane, because right now, every market is different. A lot of people are turning on the TV and they'll see what the guys are doing in LA flipping houses and think it's going to happen here. Right. And we're just not in that type of market. So you have to be realistic, and you have to, or don't be scared to venture out, venture out, because it is opportunities out there. And that's what I do like about the youth of today. They're more advantageous when it to getting out there. They're not scared. I think we put the brakes on, but they can connect. They have the tools to connect. So if it's something that they, you know, inspire to do it, and just educate yourself and stay consistent.
Well, what advice would you give you know what I mean, for the poor guy like me? I ain't grow up rich like Dennis and nothing. Fat boy.
I ain't broke.
I ain't grow up rich like him or nothing, but for the dude, you know what I'm saying, that may be struggling with a credit score, or, you know what I'm saying, that want to figure out how to get on the road, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, we all been in business, you know, would you advise LLC situation, or, you know what I mean, sole proprietorship, or, you know what I mean, whatever, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, 'cause you know it's ways, I know you know it's different ways that you can flip houses, even if your credit's jacked up a little bit to get on the road, you know what I mean, doing what you want to do. What advice would you give, you know what I mean, for our youth and the young man, woman, whatever, trying to start a family, man, you know, as far as, you know, getting on the road and clearing up the credit? Would you advise them to look into their credit situation, you know, first and foremost? That's a lot of things we don't talk about as you know, people in our neighborhood, bro. We ain't been educated on credit a lot, you know what I'm saying?
That question, man, like I said, is
Right.
is trifold too, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's no simple answer to anything, because even having the knowledge, understanding credit is great and credit is key.
Right.
But when you're living, because I know from 20 to 30, I knew about credit, but it was times where me and my wife needed a vehicle, and I go to sit down, and he said, okay, I'm gonna give you this. And I done been to 4 car lots, and they said no, and this one car lot, I'm gonna give it to you, but I'm gonna charge you 30%. I know it's a dumb move, but I need a car.
Right.
So I signed off. You know, I was, you know, predatory, subject to that. So credit is important, but I think you have to build that base first. I mean, we want to invest, and investing is great, and I, you know, encourage everyone to do so. But get your foundation underneath you, because sometimes you jump out there and get to running. And like I said, I'm a family man first. And
Right.
it's a lot of times I had to take care of the family and make some decisions that wasn't the smartest business decisions, but it was the smartest family decision
Right.
to keep the family moving. So
That dude Dennis, he probably got an 850. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got credit, but I know how to get it. You feel me?
That's the guy to talk to about it.
Dude, he probably got 850 over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dennis,
and he could finance the loan for you
Yeah,
if you want to, because
hey,
you got
bro,
money.
I'm trying to get him co-sign for me right now. They can move. You feel me? But yeah. You know, all jokes aside, man. You know, this platform, man. We, you know what I'm saying? It's elevated. We got high level conversations. You know, a lot of times we cut up and joke or whatever, man. But you know, we have high level conversations, and I get a lot from these gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, they inspire me seeing the hustle. You know what I mean? And I hope I inspire some others. You know what I'm saying? But these dudes inspire me. And we just want to give cats their flowers, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you know what I mean, I'm gonna make a turn, a little twist and turn tonight, and surprise this dude, because you know what I mean, give him a chance to do what he loves to do anyway. We gonna let you know what I mean, Mr. Dennis tell us a little bit about his business, you know what I mean, and what he does. You know, a lot of people know him as Fat Boys, you know, sell rims, we use car stereos, everything, right? Audio, this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean, he's done turned into Mr.
Now,
Mr. Jetson right now, so we got
Yo.
Mr. Jetson.
I try to stay professional tonight. I try not to go there today. I try not. You know, I try. But you know what? We're going to focus on positivity, and we're going to.
Right.
We got a special guest here, and I think his input is way more important. We'll get to me. Trust. We'll get to me, but
So we agree on something.
Share it,
I mean,
man.
I think-
Share it.
we wanna hear it.
Because I'm still
Bro,
building. I'm
yeah.
still.
yeah. But the information that you have is a lot more interesting, and a lot more for the younger people.
Think
Like
so?
I just want, yeah, man. I mean, I'm for the youth.
But all of, oh my God, cat, yo,
Yeah.
push the
Stop
cat
the
button,
cap.
man.
Right now,
Man, fuck
no
it.
bullshit.
I try to do
Can't.
it. Now I got somebody here.
Can't.
Now I got somebody else here that ain't cheerleading for smack
Let's
team.
get it.
Man, listen,
Let's get right into it.
I'm gonna roast you for 5 minutes. Plus, I got
All right.
somebody with me, man.
You know I'm
I
gonna
try.
punish you, right?
I try not to do it, man. But you brought me there,
There
and
you
so
get punished. Go ahead.
what you want to do?
Let's do it.
What?
Let's do it, man.
Anything you want to do? What?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's talk about our youth, man. Our youth that need us, that need
What
our
do you think
insight,
about it,
man.
Troy? About the youth?
That need our insight. That need we got to offer.
What do you mean when I think about the youth?
This guy always talking about these badass motherfucking kids.
Ask him what he think about him. Don't look. Ask that man what he think about him.
Perspective, it's all perspective. I mean, you know.
What's your perspective?
What's my perspective? I'm not gonna generalize it. I can't generalize because it's always a backstory. You know, I think you have to really get to know the kid. I don't want to generalize because all kids are different. All kids come from different backgrounds, different walks of life. Some had influences, some didn't. So I can't lump them all into one. Do I see a dire need for some strong positive influence in our youth? Yes, absolutely. Do I think everyone is designed to be a role model? No.
And it's not.
No, I don't think so because, you know, I think we have a tendency to look at our athletes, our entertainers, and automatically put them in a role model setting or a role model position, but they're not. They're entertainers. You know, that's just that. I mean, it's at the local level, the ones that interact with these kids every day. I think
People
it's a
like Dennis?
responsibility for them.
People
Yeah,
Dennis,
like
him,
Dennis,
people
like
Dennis,
you,
but
Smack,
he disappoints
like all
me.
of us.
Dennis disappoints me. 'Cause, I mean, he don't want to assume his role, man. The dude said the generation. This dude said this generation. I'm just gonna keep it funky, bro. He said this generation of kids
Stop the
is
cap.
lost, bro. He said it's lost.
Right now,
It's the truth.
no bullshit.
That man said that the kids are lost, man. He said they got ice cream tattoos on their face. They can't work in corporate America. They can't, you know what I mean? They can't put a business suit
You
on.
really
with a
don't want to do that,
ponytail.
man.
That's what
I
he
kind
said.
of like you because you're dealing with a corporate man right next to me.
That's what you said, bro.
So we already know. And you're going to lose, keep losing this fight. I don't know why every time we do, even episode 1, you want to keep doing the same thing over and over again. You got a corporate man standing right
So I
next to
got
you.
a question.
So the
got a
question is,
question.
no, the question is,
I got a
ask him
question.
the same questions you be asking me.
Oh, I don't have to. Look, I'm sitting here next to him.
Okay.
My man
Ask him.
got his dress twisted up, got his fresh, glad, you know what I'm saying, professional. When we come in the room, you know what I'm saying? I know when you come in the room, hey, can I ask you a question? Since this guy here, how do you ever get a real estate license with your hair like that? How could you ever do that? How do you ever have a successful business and do the things you do? Because this guy seems to think that the only thing that matters is your appearance and how you look in this world.
I can attest to what both of you guys said. And I don't know where this is going to be aired at, so I'm going to be careful with what I'm saying.
Well, I'm not. I
But
keep,
it
me.
is a game that you have to play. Coming into certain arenas as a young black male, because like I said, it all boils down to perspective, and that first impression is everything.
Yeah,
so
it's the game, though.
when I interviewed at at real estate office at the age of 17 years ago, probably
Right?
29, 30 years old, I walked in. Of course, I took my earrings out. Plus, of course, I had my suit on. Of course, I didn't drive the car with the big rims, to the interview. But when they was able to sit down with me, and I let them know that I was more than just a young black man with nothing to offer.
Right.
Then I can introduce you to who I really am. You know what I mean? So I'm not ashamed of my tattoos. I'm not ashamed of my hair or ashamed of that. But I think it's a time and a place to introduce certain things to certain people because, we've come a long way, but it's still a long way to go. We still are perceived in a certain way. And then sometimes to get your foot in the door, you have to be a chameleon sometimes. You just have to do that.
So what do we and I hear what you're saying. I agree with that, but I think sometimes my perspective gets crossed with, and Dennis said the same thing about corporate America. And I hear what you're saying. My perspective is this. My perspective is, you have to get in the door, but for me personally, it's not enough of us that get in the door that really change the game. You feel me? Like when we get in the door, we may get in the door and we get in the door for ourselves and we keep things the same. But me saying getting in the door, you know what I mean? Like what is okay, really think about it. Think about it. For the most people, and not yourself, like I know what you do. But for the most part, when people get there, they go and dress the role, they play the role, and they get in the door, and they cool with just getting in the door. You know what I'm saying? But how about them dudes that don't know how to, which is probably 98% of people in our society that don't know how to conduct themselves or don't even know how to get in the door. You feel me?
So let me explain, man, and give a little background. It's perfect segue too, because I'm gonna talk about my wife. You know, my wife, she holds double masters. She's licensed in so many different fields, and she works in the school. She's a counselor. And starting off, she was wearing her khakis and sweaters to work.
Right.
And once she got the credentials and got the position and showed them that, okay, this is who I am, man, she's dreadhead, tatted up, you know. And the thing of it is, working with the youth, especially the young black youth, they want to see somebody look like them. So she make them young women feel good, and young
Like they
kids
can.
when they come in with their hair twisted up. Oh, look, Miss Bailey, my hair is like yours. But it's a time you have to introduce it in, you know.
Look, this guy over here.
Talk to me. Let's start off, man.
I do not fall alone, Clay. Think I'm gonna be the scapegoat for the whole damn machine? Shit.
We gotta be individuals, man. We have to be ourselves.
Hey, yo, I
At the
hear
end of the
what you're
day, you
saying.
gotta be yourself.
Go ahead, D. Talk that talk, man. So go ahead and
Come on,
say your
man.
bias.
You got I got 5 more minutes for our boost,
Let 'em
and I'm
know
gonna
the
just go ahead and
vibes,
just
bro.
put this whole baby to sleep.
Let's hear it.
Troy, you're in corporate America, correct?
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Having dreads and tattoos on your face, does it cap you from getting to another higher position in corporate America? Yes or no?
I'm not gonna necessarily say no, because now we have key holders in places that, you know,
Yeah.
are used to seeing us. I mean,
Dig.
you know,
Okay.
you guys,
See, that's my
you
thing.
have judges, you have lawyers, you have
Yeah.
all aspects. I mean, that have sleeves and
feel
everything.
me? I've
It's
been trying to
changing.
tell
It's
this
slowly
dude,
changing.
bro.
It's not solely
Thank
based
you.
on appearance
You thought
anymore.
he had help tonight.
It's not solely
No,
based
no,
Thought
on
he had help
appearance.
tonight.
But with that being said,
Ambush.
Okay, okay, hold on.
Ambush, D.
Hold on. Let me.
Thought you had help tonight.
No. What's the highest position? What's the highest position at your company?
CEO.
No,
That's what I want to
no,
be.
hold on.
I don't want no other position.
Hold on. Can we guys? We're going.
I
What's
don't
the
want no
highest
other
position?
position, D.
What's the highest position at your place?
well, you know, I have wear multiple hats, but on my
No. What's the
9 to 5.
highest at the corporate job that you work? What is the highest? What's the highest? Manager, operation manager.
Neither.
What's the
Yeah,
highest?
operations manager. I would say that.
Okay, operation manager, black or white?
See, that's race though.
Oh, no. I'm gonna get to a point. Black
A
or
white
white
person.
Now, do you have any black people? Do you have anybody of color that looks like us that's in a high position?
Oh, absolutely.
Do they have dreads?
Nah, they don't have dreads, but I think you're stuck on 10, 15 years ago. Dennis.
No. Do they have dreads?
No, not at my job,
So
but
what do you
I've
do
seen
about
it.
it?
Oh
So
no.
what do you do
What
about it?
we're saying is that guy the guy that looks like us that has a higher position, he doesn't have dreads, correct?
Saying
Nah, in
what?
this particular case, no.
And so to be in a higher position, you don't think the person with the dreads and then the person with the low haircut get hired first? Who do you think get hired first? Now we're talking about a higher position. Okay, what I'm saying is you're capped at a certain.
Who's cap? You cap yourself.
No. You cap because and when you get to a certain position in a certain height, it's about appearance.
Are they gonna
Period.
take that position if you get there and grow your dreads?
No, you would never grow your dreads. That's why I made the
But
statement
see,
up.
but see,
That's why I
this
made the
is- why
statement
not?
saying.
If you
See,
being
this is the
yourself, I
problem.
wouldn't.
Right.
That's what I was
See, this
saying.
dude-
That's what.
This dude, man.
If
This
you being
the
yourself,
thing,
why
bro.
wouldn't you?
This the thing, bro. This
See,
the thing.
Authentic.
we
I'm
gotta-
authentic first.
you
You gotta be
just
authentic
smack.
first.
bro.
Cheerleading.
Listen, you got this. This is the thing, bro. This is where I'm at.
Nobody
man, D.
really understands me.
Yeah,
I don't
do
get it.
understand you,
Nah,
but
I
what I'm
understand
saying
what
is
you're
you don't
saying,
understand what I'm saying. You're talking about what we're
Sure.
talking about is two different things. You know what I'm talking about for our people, D? My perspective. Now you can have your perspective. My perspective is not. My perspective is this. And I think, you know, I watch what Troy does. This is my perspective. I have no problem with the working man and what you do. No problem at all. But my problem is, where is our infrastructure? Why do we always have to conform? You know why we always conform? Because we always have a working mind to never build our own situation to where we can be what we were culturally, where we can have our religions and have our freedoms and really not have to conform to be a part of. I don't want to be the operations manager. I want to be the CEO. You know why I want to be the CEO? Because when them people come in with their dreads, I'm going to judge them for the content of what they can do for me and the information they provide and the skill level they had. So the narrative has changed. So that's why my conversation is always about, I do what I do. That's why I said, what are you going to do when you get your foot in the door? When you get your foot in the door, are you gonna be happy with getting your $200,000 a year and having your pretty house and saying that you the man and riding your nice car? Are you gonna make moves to get in a CEO position to get other people that really have the knowledge, really have the information, that may have dreads, that may have earrings, but have a $1 billion mind? You know what I mean? When are we gonna get to that, bro? Or are we gonna keep on conforming?
Honestly, I think we are our own worst critics nowadays, man. I think we critique each other more than what someone. It's almost like walking in the room and having a stain on your shirt. You know, someone else might not even notice it, and you're just because you know it's there, you're gonna always be checking it. You know?
Don't you gotta leave at like 7
Yeah.
or something? Yeah, it's 7:14.
Okay.
I was trying to keep going.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to bring it on home, but this situation ain't gonna.
Yeah, because we
It's just-
go all day,
we
man.
could go
It's just
all
not-
night
but
about this.
what I'm just saying is, this is what I'm saying. I'm gonna put smack to bed, put the baby to sleep, and smack. Name me one successful person with dreads and tattoos on their face in corporate America in business, finance, tech,
You want me name?
and not a fucking basketball player
You want me
or a
name?
goddamn athlete.
You want me name?
Name me one. One.
Troy Bailey. Manny Smack. We in corporate America, Troy Bailey, Manny Smack, because we starting our own corporation. See, your ideal corporate America is IBM and all that and all the things that was the powers that be. You tell me, you name one power name, since you naming all that stuff, name one powerful man of color that's running these major platforms.
Actually, bro.
I think you stuck on demographic, man.
Actually, and I'm gonna put the baby.
I think you stuck on
I'm gonna keep putting the
demographic.
baby
for
to
real.
sleep.
Uncle Tom,
I'm gonna
bro.
keep putting the baby to
He's
sleep.
Uncle
But
Tom,
you know what? We ain't got enough time. I'm a gatekeeper.
Uncle Tom.
Period. But
Who you keeping the gate for?
for black people.
That's a lie. Cat.
Cat.
Y'all going there,
I'm a
man. Why y'all
gatekeeper.
going there, man?
Cat.
I'm a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Cat.
I keep gatekeeper meaning I keep the black people where they can't do
Yeah, we
nothing.
gonna close this out,
We
man.
can do some research though, man. Because
We
I
gonna
really
close
Bring it
this
right
out,
back
man.
again.
We like that. Like
We put
we like to thank
gonna-
Troy for coming out tonight, man. Listen to Dennis talk crazy.
phenomenal guest
Talk crazy
today.
Listen to Dennis talk crazy.
for
Listen to our
tonight.
opinions,
Phenomenal
man.
guest. And well, we're just gonna cut this guy off because he just be talking here himself talk. But we're gonna do is we're gonna give Mr. Belly closing art. Gonna send us off with a closing.
Nah, I just wanted to say once again, I appreciate you guys for having me here, and I like what you're doing on providing a platform, and I see great things happening, man. I'm excited to see, what y'all gonna bring next to the table. Great conversation. So we can go all night. So many different perspectives, and I hope none of it was taken, in the wrong way or anything like that. Because, like I said, my main, any takeaways from the night is consistency and perspective, man. I think it goes a long way. And authenticity.
Yeah, I appreciate, man, you coming out, bro. No question, appreciate you coming out, and you know what I mean. It's all love, man. And like I said, you inspire me.
Are you ready?